But it's good.
Hi, everybody. This is the Global Chamber Weekly Real Estate Call that spans the world. And a lot of the reason it spans the world is Jim Huang, who is Mr. Global. Jim, how long have you been involved with global real estate?
Oh, a very long time. I would say ever since I started in real estate, because I worked for fund groups, there was a lot of investments from Japan. China was just starting to really get into us back in the 90s. So I started more and more business really coming into America then. And obviously watching the changes, I always say the Asian flu, the dot-com, the Great Recession, right? And then the big notable one that we recently have with COVID. And I thought survive to 2025 was that catchphrase for all of us. Oh my gosh, 26 or 27 with all these new changes, especially with tariff uncertainty, and we hope no wars. But Doug, it is exciting, and that's why Global Chamber I know is so valuable because you really have your fingers on the pulse. Because every time I show up in meetings, and there's just a myriad of so many meetings, it really helps stay in touch and really understand what's happening in the world. Otherwise, you can't read or see enough. You just have to attend meetings and hear from people, boots on the ground. And I was going to go to Central America, but now I may hold off asking my friends in Mexico and in Central America before I take off to see should I go down now or should I just postpone my trip.
Got it. To be safe.
Yeah.
It seems to be subsiding, but I don't know. Speaking with some folks yesterday within Global Chamber, the Mexican side of it, the people seem to be happy that what's happening and happy with the president, not happy that of the what's happening. What I meant was, that the government needs to have control of the situation and that people should not be ruled by renegades and be able to have unlawfulness. And so that's lawfulness is good for business. It's good for real estate. It's good for society. So hopefully they can sort through that. What do you think?
Definitely hope so. I know there's just a lot of changes. I have my own kind of thoughts on this, but I won't keep it to myself. But um, everyone needs more stability. Each government, each country runs and operates differently. A lot of times on our last call, the geopolitical, it is getting more challenging sometimes to do international and global business, but you got to just understand where it is, what it is, where you can go, from Europe, Asia, Latin America, Middle East, right, Africa. Many of us, because of Global Chamber, are just having, I would say, phone calls, discussions, pretty high level with companies, businesses, or government agencies really does help you craft and understand what's going on. But that also helps you if you're developing, moving money, creating opportunities. I was just talking to people in Colombia and Venezuela yesterday, and they're like, I'm just telling people you can buy a beachfront property for less than 100,000. Donna, come on, you got to go buy a beachfront property, or Ellen, in Venezuela's, and depending on what may go on, whether the Monroe Doctrine 2 or something comes up of how we are protecting or looking after parts of the hemisphere and the world, there's opportunities, but you do have to get on calls. You do have to talk to people. And Doug, I am going to use Global Chamber as I do and will go down to Venezuela and South America to see what's going on, just like how I will be flying to the UK and Poland because people told me to go to Poland where there's a lot of great opportunities and maybe Germany just to catch up with people. But honestly, Doug, there's so much like Ellen and I, trips in China with the Portal Conference. There's no lack of traveling and learning. And what I see for Americans is stacking and building US assets to live abroad. I love it. And Global Chamber, you really have friends everywhere. As everywhere I travel in the world, I try to meet a Global Chamber member. And everyone I've met in Global Chamber was just fantastic. So Doug, I think I know a lot of this through Global Chamber doing business, sending real estate, sending information, but also for everyone to strategically figure out where they may want to live and building friendships using Global Chamber as we do some business. And this time of remote working is so powerful with Global Chamber that you can actually start stacking your retirement working globally and virtually. So I'd love to hear how people are actually running their business. Maybe Ellen, and Donna, because it's funny, Donna, you're in Atlanta, but you do business in India all day long, right? And you have that relationship. So it is important to stack in this world. We can start building globally and creating opportunities so you could live abroad if you need be. So, Ellen, do you want to share a little too as co-host? Because you're up in Canada. I think some people forget that you're not part of us, US, but up in Canada.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Doug. I just wanted to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody from around the world. Today, we actually have some speakers that's joining from our last meetings, and I think one of the speaker is here from Europe. So maybe I will have him share a little bit about what he does and also a little bit about his company. David, would you mind sharing with us a little bit about P3I Global?
Sure. Thank you very much. I am part of the joint venture called ESG Impacts. P3I Global is responsible for, I will say, the developer down to the occupant with respect to being able to illustrate the opportunity of deploying generationally responsible best practice designs, technologies, policies, and investment strategies to maximize the human, social, and financial asset value. So we're able to look at different opportunities for different real estate portfolios and help our clients maximize the value that's created with the dollars that they put in. So my role as the impact assurance officer is to make sure that my clients don't spend any money that can't be proven to benefit the asset for the asset's life. So we get down into the details of not only looking at the materials of construction, but the means and methods, stewarding those best practices into the project, making sure that the performance outcomes are verified, and then providing the ongoing validation that the investment is being realized for the life of the asset. So we don't talk about, we do sustainability consulting, but really it's all about asset maximum value creation, and we primarily work with clients that are interested in generational responsibility.
Thank you, David. If you don't mind, David, please put your contact information in the chat so people can reach out to you with if they have more questions or wanted to understand a little bit more about what is it that your company does. And also, Aju Thomas, I think would you mind sharing a little bit? I know you've been our guest before, but I just wanted to give you an opportunity to share a little bit about, some update from Zero too. Thank you.
Thanks, Ellen. It's nice to meet everyone here. Good evening to all of you. This is Ajit Thomas from India. I operate from Hyderabad. I represent Cyril, which is one of the larger real estate consulting companies in India. We're basically a network like NAI Global, but members all across India. I think as of today, we have almost about 43, 44 member offices in about 32 or 33 cities across the country. In terms of employees, my guess is we will have more than 750 member employees across. Our members have been in the respective market for a long time, in some cases, a few decades. And the focus purely is on office space, retail, industrial, logistics, warehousing, investments, and land. We don't do residential as of now under Cyril. We have had a decent amount of success with cross business opportunities within members. Well, just today, one of our members announced that In Thane, he's done a joint venture for Godrej Properties, which is a large listed developer in India, where the revenue potential for the developer is close to $1 billion once the project is done. On the office space side, we are focused on working with a lot of IT firms. We find a lot of US companies coming into India, especially the rush is now huge in the last 1.5 years, especially since the new government has taken over in the US. So much is the demand that in certain markets like Hyderabad, for key assets, the rentals have kind of doubled in the last 12 to 18 months of time due to the heightened demand that is there in office space, especially from US-based IT firms who are setting up their global capability centers in India. Just to give an example, now we have got companies like Netflix setting up their global capability center here. We have Lilly Pharmaceuticals setting up their global capability center here, or the Mars, both the chocolate company as well as the pet care. So you name any big IT firm in the US, they have their operations at a pretty massive scale within India, even in my own city of Hyderabad. On the retail side, predominantly we are working with national brands and international brands across all the markets. Though we are growing only within India, one of our hopes is that through these kind of connects, we are able to exchange leads with others outside India, because clients talk to us about their expansions across the world. We are not able to do much about it at this point in time, except hearing it out. So we definitely like to, have a system where we can take advantage of those opportunities. And that's a brief from our side. I think I have my colleague, Mr. Raju Mehtani, also. He's also one of the founders of Cyril. He's from Pune, which is again one of the leading cities of the country. Big time into industrial and IT.
Yeah,
Mehtani, say something?
Yes, Aju, thank you so much. And Raju, if you don't mind just sharing like maybe a little bit about yourself, your background, and also a little bit about what you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful to you that you invited me at Los Angeles Global Chambers. Orange County, I was with you a couple of months back. Yes, in the Cyril network, along with Aju, we focus large accounts like FedEx is one of the accounts we have served in Pune, or even Mars Chocolate, the chocolate division. Have worked with the companies like Deloitte. But yes, I personally focus more on the land transactions, large lands for industrial parks, large lands for joint ventures. And now that in 12 years, we have about 43, 44 offices in the country. But we are more looking for if you have any tenant representation and you want to have any kind of your needs served in Indian market. We don't mind even a small requirement or large requirement, but we will be really excited if we get some kind of some tenant representation which you are handling. Like in the last call, somebody said he's handling FedEx, somebody says that he's handling some particular. So we'll be personally more keen to start our journey with you on that platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Raju. Would you please also tell us, I know you have a really great life stories, maybe share with us, before Cyril, what you did and some of the things that you've done. Yeah. So I think the audience would love to hear that too. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Raju.
Before Cyril, I was with Jeff and Atherton and the whole team of, NAR. We worked together with NAI for about a good 8, 9 years. And then we started this company, Cyril, with my other 7 partners. So I have been regularly attending all the NEI global conferences in in Las Vegas with him for all the 8 years, and always Asia Pacific meetings in some countries. Yes, I started my journey in Taipei and Hong Kong about 40 years back. So I was working for a Miami company. They wanted me to handle their tenant representations in Hong Kong and Taipei. So I learned the real estate actually in Taipei in about 39 years back.
Thank you, Raju. So you're a world traveler all over Asia and also North America, and of
Yeah,
course
yeah,
now
yeah.
doing business worldwide too. So if anybody have any connection contacts that's interested in investing in India, please reach out to Raju and Aju. And of course, that sort of segue into Donna. Donna, if you don't mind sharing a little bit, some update about what you've been doing and also what's happening around the Atlanta area. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Excuse me. My voice is still not all the way right. But my name is Donna Smiley. I'm based in the Atlanta, Georgia market. Been in commercial real estate for 10 years, primarily site selection, but also selling land to developers. I have a 5-year visa, so I've been to India. I'm actually on the board of directors and executive committee for the Georgia Indo-American Chamber of Commerce here, and I also handle government affairs for the chamber here as well. And I'm executive director of Global Chamber Atlanta as well. So we will be having in-person programming starting in June. Super excited about that. And we will also have our first Georgia Chamber Atlanta call in March as well. So as far as the Atlanta market is concerned, it's booming. We have the World Cup coming, a lot of development, a lot of dirt moving, a lot of projects trying to get finished before the World Cup comes. Multifamily mixed use right now is booming, and development is happening. Industrial is always booming, especially small bay product, as well. And retail on the retail side is kind of depends on the market, which side of Atlanta. But a lot of the retailers are shutting down in some of the areas like downtown Atlanta, Atlantic Station, some of the areas you probably don't know, because the rents are so high and parking is an issue. And we also been having a crime issue as well in some of those markets. So, but overall, Atlanta is doing really, really well. I mean, I'm excited for what the World Cup is going to bring. We have 8 matches, so if you're, thinking about Atlanta, please reach out to me. Definitely can be a resource when it comes to all things industrial. Raju, I definitely want to connect with you about India, especially
Yeah.
with the fact that I do want to actually invest in a few companies myself at the end of the year in India as well. So, oh, and also
Sure.
we have a trade fair coming in Atlanta for manufacturing. We have about 30 manufacturers from India coming in April. So I will share the flyer for that as well in case anyone wants to attend that trade fair we're having. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna, for the update. You mentioned you took a few days off, but it sounded like you're still working during those days.
I was under the weather and then I had some speaking engagements, but now I'm back. I'm back to normal. Thank you
Well,
though.
thank you so much for the update. Really appreciate it. And please do share the events. I think the audience would love to learn about the
Sure.
upcoming event. Yeah, thank you. And also, I know, Teresa, you'll be speaking next week about MIPIM, but I also want to give you an opportunity to talk, share a little bit about yourself because you're a world traveler. So maybe share with us some update information, but don't talk too much about what you're going to say next week. Yeah, thanks, Teresa.
Oh, good morning, everyone, out of Chicago today.
Morning, Teresa. Hello, Teresa. We can't hear you.
Forward to going to MIPIM. I go every single year. And what she's referencing is for people who are new to going to MIPIM. If you don't know what MIPIM is, it's the largest global commercial real estate conference. And I highly recommend going at least once. You're not going to get a ton of like business from going once, but you will learn a lot. To get business, you have to repeat go. But in any event, if you are considering going, it is starting March 9th. And next week, I am pairing with another woman who she's attended every single year since its inception. And the two of us are going to answer questions, give some background, set expectations, etc. So that's on my LinkedIn profile. That's the latest post. But yeah, I'm always on the go selling my resorts in the Caribbean. I've got stuff in Chicagoland area and always happy to connect. Just tell me what you're seeking and you never know if we could put something together or I could connect you with the right person.
Hey,
And I put all my
Teresa,
stuff in the chat.
thank you for putting your information in the chat. Would you mind just sharing
And
with us? Because I think you were just at the Caribbean, looking at some of the beach resort. Is there a couple items that you want to highlight and let the audience know so they can reach out to you for more information?
Sure. And before I touch on that Caribbean, I forgot, I also for the Global Chamber, I guess I'm on in 2 hours again, answering some questions about global trade, et cetera. So I got a whole list of questions last night that aren't totally applicable to me. But in any event, I'm happy I'm presenting in 2 hours. So that's through, again, through the Global Chamber. I have several different resorts for sale in the Caribbean, anywhere from as light as 3 million to up to 15 million. So depending on what people are seeking, these are all turnkey with value add opportunities, value add and development. So if you're interested in doing something in the Caribbean, and I'll be in the Caribbean the last week of March and first week of April as well. So if you're interested in doing something, reach out to me on that as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Teresa. And Scott, would you mind sharing with us a little bit about the speakers list and also what's coming up, regarding the property manager side? Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll refer you to the person in charge of the speakers, which is you. So that's an easy one for me. No, but we are looking for speakers. So if you're an expert in a topic, and there's a couple different ways to go. One, you can come in, you can teach for 30 minutes to the members of the Renaissance group. It'll certainly get you some exposure, and kind of build what you've got and start working the sphere within Renaissance and the relationship between Global Chamber and Renaissance, and how that bridges and strengthens all that you do. So if you're a speaker, if you've got a topic, if you're an expert in something, and you want to either do something live or just record it and we can put it into the Renaissance library, that would be amazing and also super beneficial to you too. So I think that's it on the Speakers Bureau side. Now that Renaissance is Renaissance is definitely launching, and we're on our way now. So the other component that I work with, also with Ellen and James, is the property management referral group. And actually, hey Donna, you and I spoke about this already. You're our Atlanta person. So that's the other part of this is, part of the solution of bringing everybody together and having all the spokes leading to the hub kind of a thing. So one of those being property management, and we want to have that referral opportunity for owners, investors, brokers that don't know referral management companies in other cities. We'll help vet them. We know them, and we can do that referral source. Doug, you've got your hand, so you certainly can speak anytime you want over me. And I will put my info in. I think that's what I've got. I'm not the big talker. You know me, Alan, but if there's anything I miss, let me know.
Okay, thank you, Scott. So yeah, please put the information and also put the PM referral website in the chat group. And of course, Doug, go ahead, Doug.
With Teresa here and mentioning about her event, I think it's on the 5th, if I remember correctly, where she's talking about MIPIM in detail. Teresa, I did not circle back with you yet, but earlier this morning I sent a list of topics for the next couple months here in this conversation, and I thought having MIPIM covered in more detail next week here would be amazing. Would you be available to do that next week, same time, same station?
I would love to, but I have executive board meeting on the first Wednesday of every month.
Oh, that's right. First Wednesday. Exactly. Okay. So we'll figure something else out. You've been going
maybe once or twice a month.
I couldn't believe that you said you've been going for 40 years. Could that be possible? Like as you were a child, or what was going on?
Before I was born. Between Yanishka, I always mispronounce her name, and myself, we have 40 years of experience. So she has more the lion's share than myself.
I see. I got you. Okay. I saw the 40 and I didn't read the fine print.
Yeah, right out of the womb. I was running.
Well, and so we may shift, Ellen, our schedule. I'll see if I can get Mark Pierce to move his story up. But while we've got Teresa as well, she did mention the Chicago event. Mm-hmm. It is about trade. It starts in an hour and a half, and it's the Global Chamber of Chicago talking about Chicago as a global location that is a trade headquarters. And so she'll be representing the real estate and beyond side of things. And we've got a couple other people talking more centrically around trade. So check that out. The link, actually the Zoom link and the event link are in the chat area, Ellen.
You know, if I had had more lead time, I would have invited the International Trade Association out of Greater Chicago. But there's no listserv. It's just one guy who sends a note to everyone. So probably it's not going to happen.
Technology. Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
No worries. It'll be a good discussion. I think, and I thought it was interesting last week on this program, we had Mentor, who from Instabuilt, and he has a Chicago background as well. His father settled both in Chicago and had business in Milwaukee and had a business that he was building. So last week's speaker and his prefabricated home business based out of Kosovo has quite a bit of Chicago background, as I do. My family settled 8 brothers. My great grandparent, Adolf Brunke, not a good name, but that he was the last Adolf Brunke that I'm aware of. He settled in the Chicago area without my great grandmother, who was back in Poland. And after about a year, she recognized that something was amiss. So she sent him a postcard from Poland and said, "I'm headed to New York." She felt her Adolf's brothers were causing him to carouse or do something that was distracting him not to pull her in from Poland. And so my family ends up having a little bit of a Chicago background. As you know, there's many Polish people in Chicago and Wisconsin. It became a natural setting place. And I'm sure that'll be part of your conversation coming up in 90
I
minutes
wasn't,
is
even though,
Chicago's global.
even though I'm Polish, and I think that we have, I've heard statistics that sometimes we have a larger Polish said population than Warsaw. I wasn't going to touch on that, but I would definitely touch on that we're a logistics hub of the central USA.
Well, I think Teresa and Ellen, one of the really key aspects of that is that 5% of U.S. companies are foreign owned. Those 5% account for 20% of exports. And so one of the real key things about trade is that when immigrants go to a new country, they bring global. They bring a global mindset and they recognize global opportunities faster than local people. And so that's really good news about immigrants. Not good news about what the U.S. current administration is trying to do, because generally immigrants are really good. And I think they want immigrants. They just are very particularly selective. And so immigration is a good thing, and that's an example of it. And it certainly has helped Chicago. So we look forward to your comments, Teresa.
Thank you. Look forward to it.
Plenty of immigrants in Vancouver as well, aren't there, Ellen?
Yes, also across major cities in Canada too. So that's one of the things is, you were talking about trade, right? So as you know, U.S. is one of Canada's largest trade partner, but due to the current situation, they are already expanding into Europe, working with European countries and also with Asian countries, try to do more export import to allow more opportunities, and also I would say diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I think that's what a lot of people are doing. Just right now, like even Jim was talking about, right now people are worried about going to, Mexico, going to South America. However, I always say, when the when there's chaos, there's opportunities, right? So it is important to know the right people. And I think Global Chamber provides a great platform for you to meet the right people, knowing about all these different countries, what these opportunities are. and let people know where is a good place to invest and, you know, find good deals, you know, and also what the trends are, what's happening down the pipeline, right? Even with the trade, to know the information that's coming up, which area, which countries are looking to trade with each other gives us an advantage in terms of doing our business and knowing where to invest and also where to place our money to grow our money, right? So I think that's the reason why. Thank you, Doug, for creating this platform for all of us so that, you know, we get a chance to talk with people around the world. You know, just on this call, you know, look, we have people from 3 or 4 different continents already, and this is pretty amazing with this platform. Yeah, and I also want to give people a little bit. I think Patrick, do you want to say a few things about what is it that you do and a little bit of your background? Thank you.
Sure, yeah. Patrick Hanlon, I'm director at KBKG. We are a consulting group that really focuses on federal tax credits, research and development, and 179D and cost seg, which is very relevant to the real estate world. They brought me on back in October to start a site selection and incentives negotiation group. So I assist companies when they're expanding and relocating, growing, and help them kind of figure out where some of the best markets are to go, but really focus a lot on doing incentives negotiation along the way so that investment and capital investment in real estate and personal property, machinery and equipment, the hiring of new employees and training those new employees, there's always state and local tax credits and incentives to support those activities. So that's sort of where I lead the charge. And we also assist then, obviously, with a lot of foreign direct investment into the country for folks that are expanding or starting new operations domestically.
Patrick, would you mind just where are you based and also how did you get
I
in?
sit in St. Louis. I've been here for a long time. Grew up in Chicago since we kind of have a Chicago theme going on. But I've been down in St. Louis for the last 20 years and started off my career doing economic development, so the other side of the table for me, and then went to a boutique consulting firm doing tax increment finance and real estate development oriented support. And then I was at Deloitte for about 10 years, and then similarly started a practice at Clifton Larson Allen before I came to KBKG.
And can you sort of share like a little bit about ideally what type of introduction would you like to see from KPKG? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, so for me personally, it's more along the lines of manufacturing and industrial users that are growing. But across the board, because of our cost seg and our R&D work, we really can support any client that has interest in reducing their tax burden is kind of the main thing. But for me, it's going to be anybody who's growing, industry-wise, manufacturing, transportation, distribution, lend themselves very well to credits and incentives. But we can also support the headquarters of any industry out there.
Thank you, Patrick. So please put your contact information in the chat, and then we'll reach out to you. And Doug, you have your hands up. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add to Patrick with KBKG, another thing that KBKG does really well is transfer pricing. So going back to trade, and Alex Martin is based in Plymouth, Michigan, and is world renowned for his knowledge and expertise on that, which is so critical in importing and exporting. I'm wondering, Patrick, also one thing that relates to real estate in your life is the song Dust in the Wind, which is a construction thing. And I see the album by Kansas. I believe that album you have behind there. I've never seen that album on a wall. What's the significance of that to you?
I really just like music generally.
Okay.
So I've got a rotation that I kind of put back there because music is art, and back in the day those album covers were always very artistic to me, and now I use it sort of as an art piece and backdrop.
Okay, very good. I thought it related to maybe
mentioning Alex, because if I had forgotten that would have been bad news. That and transfer pricing is a real big hot topic right now with the tariffs and the constant moving target of what that means. So Alex has been very busy.
Yeah, he also historically, being based in Michigan, loves to come to Arizona in January. It just happens that a lot of his business trip, he makes that one Mecca trip to Phoenix. And I remember sitting at a coffee shop in Scottsdale with him one January in the sunshine, and he was saying something like, "I'm not sure I'm going to be heading back to Michigan." It is nice to be in the sunshine.
That's for sure.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Sorry to interject there, Ellen.
Oh,
I
this is
saw the album. That's probably way before your time, but that album was important in my college days.
well, this is great. That's the reason why, Doug, if you have anything you want to chime in, feel free to let me know. And I think Cam, would you mind sharing a little bit about what you do and also a little about about yourself? Go ahead,
Ellen,
Cam.
he had to run, but that's a friend of mine. He
Okay.
works for a company called Beagle, and also it's a subsidiary of Corgi, which is like an insurance AI carrier for property managers. So I told him I wanted to connect him with James as well as Scott. They're based in San Francisco, but they have an office in Atlanta and some other markets as well. So I'll definitely connect you, Scott and James, to him so you can learn more about what he does as well as Renaissance. I think that would be good for him as well. But he had to get on a call, so he had to run.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Donna. I wish I knew earlier. I would have asked him to speak earlier.
Yeah, no
Donna,
worries.
yeah, just a quick question. You said Beagle, and then what was there was
Corgi, it's
yeah,
Corgi.
is that
Yeah, that's a
he
dog.
must be a
Yeah.
dog lover.
So
So
they're a really big company. They're like
yes,
actually
yes.
a really big company, and they're like raising money. They've raised like a substantial amount of money
Mhm.
for what they're doing. They're kind of in the startup phase, but they're doing really, really well. So yeah, I'll definitely have him hop on. I'll actually connect you to Ellen with him, and maybe you guys can talk about what he does more in detail because I'm not on that tech side the way they are. So yeah.
Don't worry, I just thought there's a relation, like they must be dog lovers, you know.
Yeah, they
You
are.
know
They
what?
do. The owners do have a dog. The CEOs, they have a dog. That's
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for inviting him to be on the call. Yes, and also I think Matt, I would you mind sharing a little bit some update regarding eMedia Link and also if you want to share a presentation if you like, yeah, about it because
Oh
it's
yeah, I
pretty
can.
exciting what you're working on.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you. Yeah, eMedia Links is a global real estate marketplace seen in 20, 30 countries, primarily behind the firewall in China. We are rebuilding our tech stack with our own sovereign AI, so it's gonna every property will be indexed globally. So that's the way everyone's trying to get discovered, whether it be yourself or your listings. And so our new site will be done about April 1st, maybe a little sooner than that. And so if anyone interested here, yeah, let us know. It's free to list yourself, your properties, get discovered. So any leads that go directly to you. So I can put my information in the chat with some links and share that if you like this.
Thank you, Matt. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the tech that's the technology piece that will be going on the new website? That you
Yeah,
like to share?
let me get this up. Hold on, let me share screen here. Uh,
Are you allowed to share or
yeah,
does
yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just
okay.
low here. It's still early. So our news site will be built something like this, and it'll be properties all over the world, whether it be commercial, residential, seen behind the firewall. Currently, we're about 10,000 views a day on our platform in China. We have social media partners also there in other parts of the world, getting over 1 million views a month. So it's a great way to lead generate brand and brand yourself internationally as well, especially in Asia. But our new platform will be voice search, photo search, long tail search, and all indexed. So, for example, if somebody says, I'm looking for a 3 bedroom condominium in Costa Rica by the sea, that will pop up. Or if I'm looking for a real estate agent that can help me who specializes in this, that, or the other, you'll pop up because of the indexing part. We're partnered with a company called PropTech, which does kind of virtual staging. They do have a retail play with that, where they have partnerships exclusively with IKEA and Wayfair and Samsung, and coming up with even CoreLogic, where essentially every listing that would be yours as well. So any of your listings can be on here for free. Every listing will be presented with virtual staging, where the consumer can go on and stage a property, whether it be residential, commercial. and they can actually buy property on here. They don't want to buy that TV from Samsung or that couch from IKEA. So each of our listings will have that as well. There'll be a fintech component as well, a company called Fortify, which basically allows a consumer to get themselves on the roadmap or to qualify themselves by partnerships with Visa, MasterCard, and Plaid, and deep diving into their kind of financial situation and doing a free soft credit pull. So that's attached to every listing as well, so that'll get buyers ready. So all this will be incorporated into our global platform, which again currently looks like something like this, which has again properties all over the world here, again, seen behind the firewall in China. So we have properties in, Dubai, North America. We're going to keep adding countries. But this page here already gets 10,000 views a day in China. Sina is one of the older media companies in China. So House.Sina, they point that domain to this site. So we get their traffic as well, and that's just going to increase in time. So we opened up eMedia Link Shanghai, which gives us social media access to the Twitter of China, being their exclusive partner, about 4 of their social media apps. And what that does is allows you to alter the market to Mandarin speakers around the world who use these platforms. So it doesn't have to be someone just in China. It could be somebody in Los Angeles who might be using the Chinese TikTok or the other platforms they have access to. So all this is very exciting. Our relaunch, I guess, will be probably again about 30 to 40 days. Heading over to Asia here in a few weeks to attend a property portal show to get more relationships, and so more to come on that. So very exciting.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, the property portal will be in March, right, in Bangkok?
Yeah, it's in about 3 weeks, and I'm headed actually. We have partners all over the world, like in Sri Lanka, the big property portal there, Lanka Property Web. We're on their platform, so we have exclusive partnerships with the portals. So there's links to our platform, so you get an audience from Sri Lanka. We've had leads from Singapore because of our partnership there. So I'm gonna go speak on a panel in Sri Lanka. So it's very global, but yeah, it's gonna be amazing. The global distribution and I say use the global exposure to get more local business. It's great for marketing, but now with the indexing, you can be found globally, which is very, really important. I know I just watched a podcast with Gary Vee, and he said that SEO is like the yellow pages, so you got to be found, and so we can do that globally, and it's free. So lead gen, market, index yourself, no charge. So
Thank you, Matt. And Teresa, your question, if you're looking for residential property outside of the US, what platform are you using? So I think eMedia Link has that connection. It's already linked to the largest portal in Sri Lanka, also in Singapore, a lot of public traded companies. So I think, maybe Matt, you can talk more about that.
Yeah. So here, let me go back to sharing to illustrate what that looks like. So currently, if you go on our current platform, and again, it's not going to look like this. It's being redesigned, but let's say I'm looking for properties in Seattle, right? So okay, here's a page for Seattle properties, and again, it'll look different. No, sorry, I'm frozen here. Than it does now visually. But if I'm looking for properties in Seattle off the platform, then here's listings, so agents, listings, etc. We'll have APIs and IDXs, so all the listings will show up, new construction. So this is how Sina seen behind the firewall in China. But if I wanted to go to one of our portal partners, for example, here's one called Oh My Home. They're a big prop tech company in Singapore, and they're publicly traded on NASDAQ. So this is their audience. This is their resources on their site. So if someone comes here, for example, and clicks America, this is exclusive partnerships. And the same with Lanka Property Web, Property MLS in Costa Rica. And again, these exclusive partnerships. So then same thing. Oh, I'm looking for a property in Seattle. Again, we've lead generated from people in Singapore this way for different cities. So I'm now looking for property in Seattle. It clicks Seattle in this example, and it's the same site as you saw before. So now, but this is the Singapore audience, and we leverage the brands that are big in these countries. So it's their own audience, right, and their own brand. So yeah. So if you want to be seen in Singapore or get buyers, or in Dubai, we have partnerships coming up, or Central South America, or Philippines. One coming up in Japan. So with the same concept, where you can be literally found, seen globally, and we're going to again have new home builders, residential, commercial properties around the world on this platform. So it'll be a good resource. And again, indexed. So AI will find these properties when people start doing their own AI search. So if you're on ChatGPT and you're wherever, someone will just going to do their own search. We were in Dubai last year with Jim, with Ellen and Jim and I. And for Chinese folks, I talked to a lot of developers, and I asked, how are they finding you? And they said, oh, everyone's just using ChatGPT and doing their own search that way. So that's the, I think you're gonna see more and more of that. So that's why with our platform globally and being re-indexed, and I think everybody you'll want to do that, right, to be found. So, but this is a great way to get access to properties around the world and to be seen around the world from different markets. So.
And so it's both residential and commercial?
Yep, absolutely. Residential, commercial. We may have some rentals on there as well with property managers, and new homes for sure. We put a lot of new homes on there because that's really what sells in the residential space, I think, across border, from my experience. A quick background on myself. I ran a U.S. operation for Linjia Beike, which is China's largest real estate brokerage for 5 years. I still work as advisor for them now. So we found during that process on the residential side, it was new homes is what people were really more interested in, but or luxury. But of course, commercial also. So we're gonna have a whole new commercial section because commercial is just the numbers really for the most part. And as I have partners all over the place around the world, there seems like there's Chinese people in Africa, Central America, South America buying commercial properties. So we'll have, you have ability to market to them directly. But again, on the indexing, you can be found by others, like I said, around the world based on where you're going to market it to. So again, definitely commercial, residential, new construction, and we may add some rentals or short-term rentals possibly as well.
Okay, Matt, if you don't mind, you can put your contact information there. And Raju, I think Matt and I, we can connect to discuss more. And of course, Matt, can you also share the link? So for Teresa and also the audience, in case they're interested in finding out more information. Yeah.
I'll put my
And
contact.
I'm not sure if on my phone I could download the chat. So if you are able to send the chat afterwards, that would be great.
Okay. I'll share the contact information too.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Matt.
And you guys, again, it's free. So these are tools that you want. Trust me, these are like next generation tools, global exposure, behind the firewall, all these things, no cost. Your listings yourself. So less than a cup of coffee.
Well, you see, this is why it's always good to belong to Global Chamber and Renaissance Global Group. This is what we bring people to offer you services at no cost, right? Thank you, Matt. Really appreciate your presentation. And also, right now, I think we have about a minute left, so I'll bring it back to James and Doug. So James first, if you have anything else you'd like to do to close out this, and then I'll bring it back to Doug.
Thank you. Yes, and I would just say, as I was just texting with Doug, technology, right? We love to meet virtually. We want to meet in person, but business does now go to the speed of technology. So, we're really excited to implement a lot of our tech stack into this to really help the real estate part connect everyone that's doing referral business from residential, commercial, leasing, business brokerage to a lot of the services that everyone's talking about, property casualty, site location, cost seg. I mean, this all touches commercial real estate. So we're really excited to implement and push right away, Doug. So Tom got back to me. I'm setting that up for us about getting this implemented into the global chambers to connect the world. It is really exciting to get to know people, but it's also fun to do some business together so we can make some money to travel and visit. And it's funny, Donna, that you were talking about property casualty. I was just with one of our board chairs, Tarun, right, Doug? I was talking to Tarun because of the business he created was a technology for property casualty. So, there's a lot of business. I always think abundance, but thank you. I'm just looking forward to plugging in the tech so we can start sending some business back and forth to each other at the speed of technology. Doug?
It made me think, Jim, of several key things. One being, you mentioned the platform and how important a platform is to be able to have ongoing activities that you can go to on a regular basis. So thank you for helping us with that. And certainly that's a key aspect of what Global Chamber's putting together right now. One thing that I really respect about you is your understanding of how important virtual meetings are, but also how important in-person is as well to build trust. And so you need the virtual side to be able to do lots of things. You need the in-person side to build the trust, and the combination of that you work very expertly. So the combination of those three things, a platform with virtual and in person, is a powerful thing. I think besides those other three things, there's three more that I'd like to introduce, Jim. Number one is AI. we need to jump in fully, completely, because it's changing everything as we know. I also think that one thing about Global Chamber and also the things that Jim is part of, we tend to have a bias toward action rather than the blah blah, the policy and all of that. It's important to know, but at the end of the day, as Charles Bukowski said, don't try, do. And that's certainly, I think, Jim's way of doing work, and that's the way we are too. And then finally, I'd like to leave all of us with the concept of integrity. I was told a story yesterday by our friend David Hune at lunch in Pasadena about how he was really royally screwed in another country, and there was a cultural aspect to it, but he didn't fully understand what they were telling him was complete BS. But if he had enough cultural background, he might have done it something a little bit different. So we are all navigating the world, and it can be really tricky and hard to do that. We need to have integrity. Our hope and expectation is everyone around us has integrity. Integrity can be defined in different ways, unfortunately, around the world. And we need to understand and read the signs and understand when our definition of integrity might differ from the person in front of us and how they view the world. And so, Jim, I don't know how you navigate that, but it's certainly something that all of us have been burned by and understanding, and we learn from it. I'm not sure we ever completely get there, but we get better, don't we?
We definitely get better. We definitely get wiser. We learn from our mistakes, and we know and see the signs much better. And the best thing now with social media, and you can verify, you can connect, you can ask questions to get feedback before you do business now. Before you couldn't do it. You just hope and pray. But that with Global Chamber, you can now verify people, and that's the best to see through LinkedIn or Global Chamber and other associations. Everyone's credibility is out there. So I just say, keep it. We always say, you can build a lifetime of building your reputation in 15 minutes to destroy it. Don't destroy it.
Here, here. Well, thank you for all of your leadership, and Ellen, you as well. With Global Chamber, we right now have a Mexico City event that's kicking off in person in Mexico City. We have a Women in Global Leadership conversation that's going on virtually. And then in an hour virtually, we also have the Global Chamber Chicago trade real estate conversation. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Jim. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you,
Thanks. Have
everyone.
a
Have a
great
great
See you
day.
day.
next week. See you next
Bye-bye.
Wednesday at 7. Thank you.
Thank you.